Mr. Saktiandi, support.
Mr. Speaker, as the Finance Minister has mentioned, last week, about 130 countries and jurisdictions, including Singapore, agreed to reform international taxation rules under the Base Erosion and Profit Shifting or BEPS 2.0 project. Details on the final parameters, design, and implementation will need to be discussed in the coming months. Therefore, there remains significant uncertainty in terms of the possible impact on Singapore and the sectors which will be most affected. When the details have been finalized, all jurisdictions will need to adjust their tax regime to be compliant with the new rules or cede tax revenue to other jurisdictions. We are closely monitoring developments and have been engaging industry stakeholders to understand their needs so that we can better formulate our response. As we adjust our tax system, we will aim to minimize the compliance burden for businesses and ensure that Singapore continues to be an attractive place for business. After all, Singapore's competitiveness goes beyond our taxation rates. Key fundamentals, such as our strategic location and international connectivity, excellent infrastructure, the rule of law, and skilled workforce remain strong. However, we must not be complacent. We are therefore redoubling our efforts to enhance our competitiveness and improve our business environment. For example, through upgrading our industry transformation maps or ITMs, we are confident that investors will continue to find Singapore a compelling place to do business, and our economy can continue to thrive in the new environment. Thank you.
Mr. Saktiandi, support.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister for answering my question. I have two supplementary questions. One is a simple question, the impact of Pillar 2. Will there be a risk to existing firms moving out? And I'm referring to the US IRS filings, which indicated that the US, Singapore's share of US firms' foreign income tax is second highest in the world, at about 75% after Bermuda. Which indicates that the US firm's employees here, for example, has about 165,136 people working for the US firms, not to mention the cascading effects of some of these US firms in terms of subsidiary employment for Singaporeans. So my first question is, how will there be risk of these firms moving out, these US firms moving out? Second question is whether MTI is reviewing its strategies to attract MNCs in light of this change, and what are those strategies? I think Minister has mentioned briefly the non-tax factors, but how much more can we improve to enhance even further those non-tax factors and to attract more firms coming in year after year? Thank you.
I thank the member for the two important questions. Yes, indeed, US firms play a very important role in Singapore's economy. They provide significant employment and good employment to Singaporean workers. But it's not just the US firms. I think this BEPS 2.0 is going to affect all countries. And therefore, it is important for us to take a holistic approach, look at the entire business environment. And we are doing quite a few things to ensure that we remain competitive. Mr. Saktiandi asked whether there's a risk of firms going out, moving out of Singapore. The risks exist, and they exist today even, because we have to continue to remain competitive. Otherwise, the companies will do their calculation, and they do that regularly. They redo their calculation almost yearly to decide whether they are going to continue to be in Singapore, to continue to invest more in Singapore, or to move somewhere else. And that is why we cannot take for granted, as I mentioned, as a finance minister also underscore, we need to continue to ensure that our environment remains effective and competitive. And what are the things that MTIs are looking at in doing? First, we have to continue to invest in our infrastructure to ensure that we provide a very efficient infrastructure to allow our companies to operate here in a very cost-effective way. Secondly, we need to extend our connectivity. We have entered into several FTAs, and we are continuing to sign FTAs, and we are looking at the various new opportunities for us to enter into new trade agreements, including renewable energy, including green economy, as well as a digital economy. Over the last few weeks since I took on the job, I've been talking to our counterparts in other countries almost on a daily basis to develop new connections to allow our companies to expand beyond the confines and the limitation of our physical size. And we also want to encourage companies to invest in productivity, in upgrading, so that they can continue to be cost-effective. And there are many schemes that we have offered, and I can't detail all of them here, but I'm sure members are aware there are a lot of support schemes to encourage and support companies to become more productive. And particularly for tech companies, we have a lot of incentives and support for investment in R&D. And this will anchor a knowledge-based economy, an innovation-driven economy in Singapore. I think we have to do all of this in order to keep Singapore competitive. We must remember that BEPS 2.0 is one of many threats that could affect our competitiveness, and we cannot remain static. Chinese, there's a saying, 逆水行舟，不进则退. In business, it's the same. If we stop at where we are and hope that we will continue to thrive and to be vibrant, I think we will be in trouble. We have to constantly be on the move, look out for opportunities, continue to restructure, reorganize, and reposition ourselves for new opportunities that will come our way.